You can't screw this up. I'm telling you right now, because Double R is like a kid in a candy store
I really
right about
am,
now.
man. This is just a huge moment in my life. I'm excited.
Dude, I'm excited for you because I'm a huge baseball fan, and, I grew up in Boston, so I know how big it is for you to meet somebody of this caliber who meant so much to you and your favorite baseball team growing up as a kid. So I totally get it.
And as a West Coast guy and growing up through the 80s and 90s and today, I do believe that I'm like a true sports fan in the West Coast sense of the idea. I'm not an East Coast sports fan who is willing to steal an old lady's purse because, she said something bad about my team. No, but I mean, I do care a lot about that stuff. So go ahead, give him an intro, Steve.
Go ahead.
All right, well, when it comes to Mariner legends, there can only be one at the top of that list. And no, I'm not talking about Carl Everett.
Oh, dang, really?
Many Mariner fans will get goosebumps when we play this audio from 1995 when the M's refused to lose.
Right now, the Mariners looking for the tie. They would take a fly ball. They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Wow.
I don't believe it. It just continues. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
The double is the greatest Mariner moment in history, and please welcome the greatest Mariner in history to the show, number 11, Edgar Martinez.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
So good to have you here, Edgar.
Oh,
thank you
indeed.
so much, and thank you for everything that you've done in a Mariner uniform, man.
Thank you. It's been an honor to play here in the city. It's been when I started, we didn't have a good record, but we got to get better every year. And in '95, we had our best season in Mariners history.
Yeah, it was a fun ride, man. I remember it, and just listening to the audio, and I watched the video. It just still, my hairs are standing up on my, because I just remember it's one of those things where you know where you were certain places, and I know exactly where I was standing when I watched that double, and it's never gonna go away. One of the greatest moments in all of Seattle sports.
Yeah, it's excuse me, a lot of fun. It was a great year, and September was like a playoff the whole month. And
the
the
were
fans,
down like 12 games to the Angels, 13 games.
Yeah, it was one of those seasons. Everything went right at the right time, and the team played as a unit, and we had a great month of September that led us into the playoff.
Well, August wasn't bad either. Didn't you drive in like 180 runs in August? No, it was like 33 or something, right?
Yeah, it was a great month. But as a team, we had a really good month also.
Well, you won the Silver Slugger Award that year, which is the award they give the best batter for each position in baseball. And so for the designated hitter, there was nobody better than you that year, and that you won the award. So it was a big part of it. And Edgar, I take my hat off to you because you stuck with this team. And, you got to a great season the way, you kind of like teams to get there. You built on it rather than just, a team like the Yankees, a team you beat where they go out and they get hired guns. You guys have homegrown talent. That's what makes a victory like that so much sweeter.
I think so. I think you're right. The team that we got in the early '90s, it came from the system, the farm system, and we had great talent. Junior was amazing at that time. He just looked like it was going to be a superstar. And then we got Jay and Randy, and it built a really good young team. And similar to what we see right now, we have a very young team on the field, and that year. That's what happened. We had good talent, and we matured as a team, and finally we came alive in '95.
Yeah, and look at the similarities right now. The Mariners, the young Mariner team is chasing the Angels. And, boy, wouldn't that be great to see something like that? Because, on the other end of it, the Angels have had a history of just horrible collapses. You know, in the '86 championship series, they had a lead, and Donnie Moore, the poor guy, ended up. A lot of people thought he committed suicide over the fact he blew that series. And then, of course, with the Mariners, like you said, a huge lead in '95, and they end up losing the division. It's you know, so there is, you know, Edgar. That's the other side of it. I mean, have you know, is it are the highs as great as the lows? You know, because I mean, when you think of what the Angels went through losing that, I mean, did you experience as low of a low as you did the high in '95? It's just I mean, it has to be a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster. You go through seasons having great years as a player, as a team, and also you can go down in flames. We said, you know, but it is that's the nature of the game. You just go out every day and compete and do the best you can, and get the good. When you're doing good, just try to stay consistent, and hopefully you can come on top at the end of the year. But it is up and down as the season goes. We had some years, the first half was great and the second half was terrible.
Yeah.
And other years, the first half was bad and the second half was great. So it's
which we like to have those more often than the collapses at the end. And you've always been consistent. I mean, lifetime .312 batting average, and AL batting champ a couple of times. I mean, just there's never been a lack of consistency with Edgar Martinez, and he's I mean, you know, managers and players alike throughout the league. Everybody, you know, you were the most feared right-handed batter in the game, and they say that there's no doubt about it. You should be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, that will be a great honor. That's the ultimate honor as a player, be able to be in the Hall of Fame. And when you have managers and other teammates and players around the league talk about you like that, it's just a great honor and make you feel great. All the work that you put on all the years they have a payoff.
And the whole, I mean, you see, Edgar comes from Puerto Rico. You know, that's where, you know, he grew up. And I remember reading something or watching something where your family moved to New York, and Edgar didn't want to leave Puerto Rico. So when it's time to go to the airport, Edgar went up on top of the roof of his house and hid for a couple of hours. And finally, his grandma and grandpa said, look, just leave without him. And they went to New York without him, and he stayed with his grandparents in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And all he had were the clothes that he was wearing at that moment. And then, you know, it said that your grandparents bought you a couple clothes from a door-to-door Arabic salesman. You know, the Arab dudes going around knocking on doors. Hey, you want to buy my clothes? Hello. And they hooked him up with some clothes, and he was good to go.
Well, you have the story very accurate.
Down to the actual sound from the conversation.
You know, it was true. It was, I don't know why. At that age, early age, I was 11. It was, you know, I had lived with my grandparents since I was 1. So I had, I thought they were my parents at the time for sure. And,
yeah.
And, you know, playing baseball in Puerto Rico was one of my favorite things to do, and I could not make that trip to New York, so I did hit in the roof, and they left, and I came down and told my grandfather, well, I guess you stuck with me, but it was great. It was the greatest thing that happened to me at that age.
And you were hanging out with your cousin a lot, who didn't he play for the Cubs?
Yeah, Carmelo Martinez, he played for the Cubs, and also after that he went to San Diego and played with the Pirates. So we grew up playing the game, and that's how he was one of the major influence for me to become a ball player. I mean, his cousin got him a tryout with the Cubs, and the Cubs were just like, you know, whatever, let Edgar go. And so, you know, Edgar's, you know, he's working at a bakery in Puerto Rico, you know, playing baseball all year round, going, man, I know I can do this, but, you know, the opportunities are kind of slipping. And finally, he got hooked up with an opportunity with the Mariners, and thank God, because, boy, without him, who knows what would happen.
Edgar, if you ever need a guy to write your biography, I think we got one right here.
Yeah, he knows a lot. This is good stuff.
Well, I'm passionate about, you know, I mean, I'm just a big fan of the Mariners, big fan of you, and, you know, I just appreciate everything.
Thank you.
The BJ Shea Morning Experience on 99.9 KISW.